Okay, this little short video, hopefully short, is for the people who weren't in class when I was introducing to the next gen second years their emerging technologies and trends unit. So I'm going to upload this for you guys. Okay, so let's make a start. So in this short little video, our goals are I want you to be able to understand the next unit and then make a start of the next unit. So, what is the next unit? The next unit is something called Emerging Technologies and Trends in the games, animation, and visual effects industries. It's a written research project, 2,000 words, and it's due Thursday, the 17th of November. Now, I know 2,000 words may sound like a lot, but I know you guys did. You did one last year. It's not that much the way I've split it up because I've split it up week by week. We'll be tackling 400 to 500 words each week, and then before you know it, it'll be done very quickly. So yeah, I'll go into a little bit more depth about what it's about. Okay, so this is just a slide saying what it's based on. You must research a current emerging technology or trend in the games, animation, and VFX industry. For example, virtual reality gaming, stuff like the Oculus Rift. That's a new emerging technology in the games industry and in the VFX industry as well. And no doubt somewhere in the animation industry it's most likely being used virtual reality stuff. Augmented reality gaming, that's stuff like Pokemon Go. You point your camera at the ground and there's a Pokemon there. That's augmented reality. And that's been used in mainly the games industry, but also VFX does tie into it and animation. I mean, the Pokemon moving around when you look at it on your phone, that's animated, so it ties in there. Another example of a trend in the VFX industry is a lot of Disney films are now being made into live action films. Just look at Jungle Book. I think that was like animated in the 70s, and now it's a full CG live action feature film. Another version of that would be Cinderella. That was turned into a live action film, and I think that was a 50s Cinderella. You also have Beauty and the Beast. That's currently in post production. Another example is Maleficent. That was a Sleeping Beauty kind of prequel to Sleeping Beauty, but again, it's been taken into live action. And Jon Favreau a couple of days ago announced that he'll be directing the live action version of The Lion King. So all these old animated Disney films are being turned into live action VFX films because the technology is there and it's doable. Whereas 50, 60 years ago, when these first animated films were released, it just wasn't doable. You would never be able to do it anywhere near the standard where you can today. So yeah, that's one example that you can look at. And another example is photogrammetry, and I'll go into this a little bit more. But photogrammetry is essentially taking multiple pictures of an object and then creating a 3D mesh which is already done textured for you out of those photos. So taking loads of photos of an object all the way around it, and then plugging it into some software, and it builds a 3D textured mesh for you. Now I know a lot about the bottom two, so if you were to pick one of them, I can give you a lot of help with them. But the top two, I don't know so much about, but it is a research project anyway, and you may know more about that than me. But yeah, so that's the kind of thing it can be based on. It doesn't have to be one of these, but I'm going to talk to you about your choice. I'll catch up with the guys who went there. So yeah, cool. So why are we doing this unit? It's externally verified by NextGen, so we have to, and it must be complete to pass the course, and it gets you ready basically. If you were to go on and do a HND or a university course, you're going to be doing essays like this at least once a year. So it gets you ready for that. And it has to be done anyway because it's externally verified, which means NextGen themselves or AIM, the marking board, they'll be marking it as well. So it has to be done by every single student. It goes towards your degree anyway. It's a certain percentage of your final mark for the NextGen course. Now, there's four main methods of research which have to be inside of this essay, and they are as follows: primary, secondary, quantitative, and qualitative. Now, it may sound confusing, but if you come and see me, I did give the guys who were there a handout on it, so you can come and get one of them, but I'll just go through each of them briefly now. Okay, so primary research. This is research which you yourself have gone and gathered. It doesn't come from a book, it doesn't come from articles. You've actually generated this research yourself. So an example would be questionnaires, surveys, and interviews. Now, if you decide to do it on AR gaming, so you decide to do it on Pokemon Go, you can go on SurveyMonkey and make a survey with 4 or 5 questions, and that's your primary kind of research. It's research which you're taking the initiative to go and get. You may want to interview somebody, maybe from the industry or something, get in contact with them, email them, stuff like that. So that's primary research, and we need some of that in your final essay. Okay, so secondary research. This is research which has already been done by someone else, but you're going to be quoting it. So, for example, if you're looking at a magazine of 3D magazine, or if you're looking at an online article, stuff like that. So it's research which has already been done, but you're kind of collecting it. So stuff, and examples of that would be books, magazines, online articles. It's stuff which has been created by someone else, but you're using as research. So that is secondary research. Okay, now on to quantitative research. Quantitative research is basically research but shown in figures, like a set of numbers, and it's good if you display it, as it says down here, in some sort of chart or graph, and you can make that with Word very easily, or PowerPoint. So let's have a look at this. So it could be the number of people who play a game, so it could be, if you're doing AR, it could be how many times Pokemon Go has been downloaded. If you're looking at Disney films being turned into live action films, it could be box office results of the original Jungle Book compared to the new one. And also it could be number of games sold, the amount of revenue a company makes. It's basically research but in the form of numbers, and so that's what we need as well. Okay, now we're already on the final bit of type of research. So qualitative research is basically research where you get someone's personal opinion. So when you are doing stuff on SurveyMonkey, when you're writing survey questions to do amongst yourselves, make sure, say for example you're doing Pokemon Go or something, and then make sure you put a question in there. Why do you prefer, say you're asking, do they prefer Pokemon on the Game Boy, the originals, Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Blue? If you're asking, do they prefer playing it like that, or do they prefer using it on their phone with, the interactive camera and stuff, you can ask them why they prefer what they do prefer. It's all about their opinions. So you can ask people, another example would be, if you're looking at the live action sort of Disney films, you could ask them if they prefer the originals or if they prefer the live action ones. Ask them why. Make sure when you're doing your surveys, you ask people what they think, you ask them for their opinion, because that's all qualitative research is. It's asking about people's thoughts and feelings. Okay, so I'm quickly going to go through what photogrammetry is, because that was one of the other avenues where you could take this kind of essay. So photogrammetry is you don't have to take hundreds, but you take a lot of photos of an object all the way around it, up and down it, make sure you get absolutely everything. You put those photos into a software. It then builds a textured mesh out of those images. Because you've taken photos, you've already got the textures built in there. And this is used a lot in games and in VFX. I've worked on productions where we've used this before. I've done it myself. It's very quick. It's very good. A company that you may want to look at that uses it in the UK, they used it on Halo for cutscenes and a lot of other game kind of cutscenes. It's called 1024.co.uk, but it's number 10 is TEN and then 24, so 1024.co.uk. You may want to definitely look for them. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you a very, very quick video on an introduction to photogrammetry, because I know a lot of you are doing it on photogrammetry. So I'll just let you watch this short video. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that short, quick video. But here are some of the avenues that I kind of recommend you taking your research project down: AR gaming, VR gaming, Disney originals becoming live action, and also, as well as photogrammetry, cloud rendering is this new kind of. So say you're a freelancer and you've done a load of Maya work and you want to send it to a render farm, which is basically a set of like supercomputers that just render your work very fast. But not everyone can afford to have a render farm in their house. So this new kind of up and coming thing is cloud rendering, where you upload your file, your Maya file with all your textures to the cloud, and then it gets sent away to some office where they have a render farm, and they render it for you and send you back the finished files. Now that's an avenue that you could take it down, but again, I recommend going with either the Disney originals being turned into live action, like the development of VFX over the years, it's got better and better, or photogrammetry, or the top two. You can go for this one, but I don't know a lot about it, so I can't give you a huge amount of help. Now the structure for this term, I'll just quickly go through this. So this is the 29th of September, where some of you were there, some of you weren't. We did an intro to the unit, and the homework was to finish our introduction and finish defining the purpose of research. Introduction was 400 words. Sorry, let's go back. Introduction was 400 words, and defining the purpose of research was 100 words. So by the next session with me, sorry, I clicked again. By the next session with me, you should have 500 words done, and that's within your first week, and you're a quarter of the way there, which is awesome. The next session I'm going to be doing with you this Wednesday will be bibliography and research techniques. I'll be going over how you undertake your research and how you construct a bibliography, and then you'll start it in my lesson. You'll start your research in my lesson, and then and then you'll start the research in my lesson, and then for the homework you'll finish it off, and then following week we'll be looking at collating our results. I'll explain what that is. And then homework, if you haven't got up to this point, we can use this homework slot as a catch-up. Then we'll be doing a section that's like 200 or 300 words on evaluating the sources, and then your homework will be evaluation and conclusion. Then we have half term, then you've got to do your bibliography and finish off the essay. We've got catch-up time, and 17th of November is your essay deadline. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8 weeks to do 2,000 words, and that's not difficult. Okay, so then after our essay deadline, another part of the unit is we have to do a presentation. So I'll set the presentation, tell you what you have to do. Then over these 2 weeks you work on putting your presentation together, and these final 2 weeks of term I'll be viewing your presentations, probably with Kelvin or with Steve, and we'll be giving you feedback. And that's it for this term. This is just the Thursday sessions. So Friday sessions I will be training you up in Nuke, and it'll be more of a fun lesson. But that's only if I feel on the Thursday enough work has been done. If I don't feel enough work has been done, then I won't do. Then I'll dedicate Friday's session to catching up, because this is more important. But I really want to train you guys up in Nuke as well. So as long as you get the stuff done at home, I'm happy to do Nuke with you on Fridays. Okay, so your homework for this session, in case you did miss it, was finish off the intro, which is 400 words, and finish off defining the purpose of research, which is 100 words. So by next session, you should have 500 words done, and that's a quarter of the way there. So come find me in a week if you're a bit puzzled. I'll try and come find you if I have a spare bit of time. But yeah, on WebLearn there's a Word document which is called Structure for Essay or something. Scroll down to Work for John and it'll be in there. But it's a little it's your essay sort of planned out in little subheadings, and it says how many words need to go where, so you can make a start. Okay, so that's the end now. So cheers, and I'll see you in your next session.